will often come in and on a weekend when I come back from a match and I say, oh, how have we done today? We've had a really good day, and it's like we've sold loads of records, so I'm thinking, I sort of panic and go, well, no one's going to come in, we've got no records, I better buy some more. So, but people are constantly coming in and offering us collections, and guy walked in last week with Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones, and it was like, do you want them? I'm like, yeah, we'll have them. After sixth form, I wanted to go to a place where I had a lot of musical history, and that was sort of Manchester, Leeds area. And that's when the sort of journey began of spending your student grant on records. You know, play football Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, go around the record shops, and that was the way it worked at that time. I'd often taken my wife to record shops when we went shopping and stuff, and she was sick of standing around, and she toyed with the idea of having a coffee shop, so we thought we'd try and combine both things really, and it just really gives me an excuse to buy even more records. So this part of it here is getting to the B's, and then we've got like a Manchester section there, which is probably my favourite bit of the record store, which is like your Joy Division, your Stone Roses, and then underneath we've got a bit of hip hop and rap as well, and then you've got your compilations, Beatles and things like that. So I think we've got something that everyone will be interested in. But the difficulty for me is that I'm constantly taking records from the shop back to my collection. So whenever I get a chance and my wife's away, I can probably sneak about 30 records at a time. I've got a bag that carries that. It's just like a covert operation, sneaking them into the house. So I've got to place them in different places really, so she doesn't know I've sneaked even more home.
Have you got your own record room in the house?
Yeah, I've got like a man cave at home, which is for records and stuff like that, and watching football, and yeah, I suppose like most men have, you know, where we go and chill out and get away from the wife and the kids. We've got all these albums, but then Tracy Chapman's, it's 20 quid this is the original 1988.
Yeah.
But what an album.
One thing that took me by surprise was that referees would have their own playlist before and fourth officials and assistant referees.
Yeah.
Who gets control of that? Is it the matchday referee who gets control of the speakers, or?
Essentially, it's the referee who controls the playlist. So we all have our mini speakers, but I'm always fair. I always offer them the chance to get something onto the playlist. A couple of my assistants, like Mark Perry, my assistant, he's got shocking taste in music, so I tend to just ignore anything he suggests. Eddie Smart, yeah, he's not too bad. Andy Halliday from last year, he quite liked the Proclaimers, so that slotted in there now and again.
What do you see the role of the record store being now, sort of in the face of streaming and YouTube and other ways of consuming music like that?
I don't think there's anything quite like going into a record shop. So I have Apple Music and other streaming channels on my phone that we use when I'm refereeing. And if I want to hear about a song straight away, I might listen to it on streaming, but I'll always want to own that on vinyl. And there's nothing quite like walking into a record shop, having a look through the racks and finding something you didn't know you were looking for, or similarly find something that you've been looking for a long time. Lana Del Rey.
This is the new blue vinyl, is that right?
That's right, yeah, indie exclusive. So a lot of the new records tend to come out on coloured vinyl that are exclusive to independent record stores. So we try to get those.
You get some football fans in looking in this section who then look at you behind the counter and think, is that?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of that, and you know, I get a lot of Leeds fans coming here.
Yeah.
And they come in and ask about decisions and.
Oh, really?
I just generally talk about football, so that they'll sort of like have a little look through, so that you've got your record store fingers that you to flick through, and then they'll start talking about football, and you know, so we tend to have a conversation.
Some clubs around the league now have their own walkout music. Yeah. You know, for to greet the home team. Is there any one walkout song that you're particularly fond of hearing? As
a Sunderland fan, I think Sunderland, when they first moved into the Stadium of Light, had the best walkouts in. So it would come on, first of all, the operatic music, and then they go out to Republica, ready to go. And I think, you know, in terms of a football fan, hearing that music and being in that stadium quite a few times myself, it's like, it switches you on to the game, the music, you're pumped up. This is the bit that's really sort of surprised me, because I didn't think this would be as popular. So like, we sold a lot of Shaka Khan last week, and like Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder's been selling really well. And again, it's a really young crowd.
Yeah.
that are buying this stuff, and they'll buy like De La Soul and things like that. Record shops will always have a place because there's a time where you can just while away a number of hours going through the racks, and we're trying to bring that back a little bit so that people want to spend some time here, have a cup of coffee, listen to some music, hear what we're playing, and then, you know, hopefully buy the record as well. It's been really interesting meeting people and finding out what they like about music, and it also introducing me to new bands that I didn't know.
Mike Dean with his dancing, and now you were at the record shop. What other kind of hidden talents are the Premier League referees hiding?
Well, you see, we're going to drip feed you, so you'll find out over the course of the next couple of years all the hidden talents that the referees have, and they've all got something.